Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Guys, we have visitors today from Injini. Let's all welcome the guys from Injini. Excellent, excellent.
That was such a warm welcome. Thank you so much. So could you tell us more about how long have you been teaching for?
Well, I've been teaching for approximately 3 years now. Started in Mpumalanga, then came down to Limpopo province.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And which grades do you teach?
I teach grade 3.
What inspired you to become a teacher?
Well, the impact that teachers had in my life personally, growing up in primary school, that's where the foundation is. And so for me, that was very impactful, and I saw the kind of impact that it had in my life personally and how it inspired me to pursue education going forward in my life as well.
Awesome, thank you. And what's your favorite part about being a teacher?
Well, there's a lot. But for me, it boils down to, when you receive a child as early as January and that child really struggles to read, to write, and do anything really. And when you take them through the process and you're patient with them and you teach them basically how they like to learn, and then you see the progress that they make, and you give them a book and then you ask them to read, and then they read, and then you ask them questions and they're able to answer all those questions. That for me, that's the gist of it, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That's really inspiring. Could you take us around the school a bit and just show us the school, and then we'll continue the questions out there?
Not a problem. Let's go. Bye.
So what's the first thing you do when you get to school?
Well, the first thing I do when I get to school is to just make sure that the area is clean.
So what keeps you motivated to be a teacher?
Making a difference, in these kids' lives, knowing that the struggles that they face, most of them are beyond their control, and they basically look towards you as the teacher to be some sort of a solution for all their problems, even though you can't really solve all their issues. Yeah.
And whose feedback makes you feel most valued? Is it the students? Is it the parents? Is it the school leadership?
I feel like the students' feedback and the parents' feedback is more important for me as a teacher, because that's where I'm making the most difference. That's where I'm having the most impact. So if a learner can approach you and say, "Sir, I wasn't able to do this yesterday, but today I can do it alone, independently," that for me is the motivation, yeah.
Could you share a highlight moment from your teaching journey which made you really proud?
Well, we sometimes have these competitions where we take our learners and we prepare lessons with them, and they go and present those lessons to other learners within their grade. And we did that this year, and one of my learners went and he presented a lesson, a very insightful, very professional lesson, and he actually won that particular competition. So for me, it just showed that with the efforts that I put in towards these kids, there's fruit in it, and I saw that day, and it motivated me even more.
You're in a very rural part of South Africa. And so what does that mean when it comes to the challenges that you face?
Wow. There's quite a lot that I can say, but it's all centered around the socio-economic issues that the kids face, the sort of families and households that they come from, the sort of upbringing, the challenges that they face. Some of them face issues of malnutrition, so it's difficult to teach those kids. And some of them, they have some barriers to learning that are unidentified, so you only see the results, the signs and the symptoms, and it affects them in how they learn and how they grasp information, how they interact with other kids. So there's a myriad of issues, myriad of challenges that I can mention, but those for me are at the heart of, the issues and the challenges that the kids face, and working as a teacher in an environment like this. And the support at times is not there from the parents, so it means now you have to pull all your socks up as a teacher and as a parent, and it's demanding in that manner.
That sounds really challenging, and it seems like you guys have to do like so much with not a lot, or like not as much as schools in urban areas or schools that are better resourced are able to do maybe. You mentioned that there are kids who have like these barriers to learning. So when you identify a child that has a barrier to learning, how do you then approach that? Is there additional support that you can ask for? How do you approach that?
Well, there is support that we do get. The issue is the support comes at a snail pace. You can identify these certain barriers as early as January, February, March, but that sort of support takes quite a long time. By then you're already almost towards the end of the year, and it's already late for that particular learner. So there is that bit of support, but we do need more, and we do need it quickly.
Let's take the rest of this conversation into your classroom again.
All right.
I can see that you use like digital tools in your classroom.
Yeah.
So could you tell us more about how you use this in your lesson?
Well, basically, you would have to use it almost all the time, because if you just talk, they want to watch TV. They like watching cartoons, as you might know. These are kids. So in most cases, you have to introduce a new theme or a new topic, depending on whatever subject you're teaching at that particular time. So you have to have that bit of video element, sort of capture their attention, and also get them talking as well. If it's a singing, if it's a song, then they sing along. If it's a game, then they play along. If it's pictures, they identify them, and so forth.
So could you tell us about how do the children engage with the technology in your classroom? Are you finding that it's easier to teach them that way? Are they more engaged as a class because you use technology in the classroom?
Well, I find it to be quite helpful and useful. I mean, the kids love it. I love it. So if I love it, then it means even the kids are gonna love it. They love fiddling with their phones at home. They love fiddling. They love watching TV. But in this case, it's a television that's kind of like talking to them. The television that's teaching them, not just entertaining them. So you use that to their advantage. Instead of just using it for entertainment, they use it also to learn, for learning purposes. And they love it so much. The apps that offer educational support as well, websites, your videos, all this multimedia. They love interacting with it. And I've seen also other teachers using it, and the kids learn how to use it. The same way they learn how to use smartphones, they now can be able to operate these things independently. All you have to do is just tell them what to do, and that's it.
Could you give us advice for any other teachers that are working in a lower resourced area, in a rural area? Do you have advice to them as to like what they could do when they don't have as much resources at their disposal?
Wow, that's a bit of a tough one, eh? I think the best advice I can give teachers is, you basically can work with what you have. If you don't have smart boards, there's no way you can get it overnight. But when you do, what you do have, you make the most of it. We can use our cell phones, we can use our laptops. I think most schools do have laptops, even if they might not have smart boards. smart panels. But when you know and you make the effort of learning and improving your own skills, how to use technology, how to use the laptops, how to use AI, because nowadays we have AI, and you use that and you involve that technology into what you do on a daily basis. I think that's the best advice I can give teachers. Make the most of what you have, and where you don't have, where you lack, try and get means. If there's nothing that you can find, just stick to what you have. Make the most of it.
Thank you very much for that, and thank you for having us in your classroom.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Say bye, Injini. Thank you so much, you guys. Safe travels, eh?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.